can he do it, George?
You got to concentrate less on landing a punch as you got to concentrate on getting closer to the opponent. Forget about the punching. Just get your head, touch your shoulder, then start punching.
What about the big man, little man thing here with Barnes trying to punch up at the much taller Trinidad and Trinidad coming down with punches? Does that give Felix a big advantage?
No doubt about it. Being smaller sometimes can work to your advantage. But you got to stay down, only come up to punch.
Keep him up, Larry.
Trinidad with an uppercut. If Barnes stays in this position, uppercuts are going to work for Felix.
One thing you don't want is Felix Trinidad to get his jab in rhythm. Then Barnes is going to have a hard night. Try to keep moving your head so he never get a good rhythm with his left jab. Barnes should be concentrating on it.
Barnes not close enough right now to execute his fight plan. If he's going to have a chance to do what he thought he could do, he must stay well inside of Trinidad's jabs.
That's difficult against a fighter who not only punches well, but as you can see, moves well, too.
Trinidad getting more and more comfortable now against Barnes. Seemed to be a little thrown off at first by the bobbing and the hyper-aggression of Barnes trying to get inside.
Suéltalo, suéltalo.
Wild haymaker lefts. One of them landed a glancing blow. Good, sharp, short left hook by Trinidad. Barnes is going to have to keep his right hand up as he comes inside, or Trinidad will land that left hook at will.
Now you're going to see something, folks, you've never seen before in a major fight, and that is Larry Barnes as the man in the nickel mask. You've heard of end swells, which are made of a copper compound to reduce swelling. They have a mask that they put on his entire face to reduce swelling.
What do you think of this, George?
I think so, but I don't like the idea of the nose being covered at any time.
The body's working for you.
You got to
just open the nose hole. You think it's a great idea?
Yeah,
huh?
you just got to exempt the nose from that covering up, because you can't have anything pressing on that nose.
Keep your hands up, bob and weave. But after you finish, punch.
In this corner, our interpreter is Hector Garcia.
Take it easy. Just be careful and take it easy. If you hit the body, if he comes in forward, just hit the body.
Trinidad threw 85 punches in round number 1. That's an extremely busy opening round for Trinidad, who in his recent fights has been starting much slower than that.
This looks like a bush going up against a tree, George.
You know, it's strange that Trinidad, he's small looking, but he was able to deliver a good left hook to the body just like his daddy told him to.
Good sharp punches by Trinidad. Barnes still not getting close enough to get inside of Trinidad's jab and his power punches.
Barnes is right at home lunging in with those left hooks, wild shots. That's what he do. He'll do that all night.
But in most of his wins against lesser fighters, George, he's been able to out-hustle and outwork them. It's going to be awfully tough to do against a guy as skilled as Felix Trinidad.
And Felix Trinidad has got to spend some time on building up his points, too. He's throwing a lot of power shots, but he's got to make sure that he's willing and ready to go the distance.
Barnes wrestling his way in to throw a left hook to the body. Trinidad steps back and starts to try to pick his shots again.
A young fighter like Trinidad probably missing more big shots in these early rounds than he ever has before, George. You think it bothers him?
At the same time, that's what I said earlier. He should try to build up some points. At the same time, be ahead on the score in case you don't get that knockout. He's missing some shots he need not even be throwing at this point.
Round 2, a little bit more cautious round for Trinidad, more like what we expected as he kind of eyeballs Larry Barnes' hyper-aggressive, hyper-bobbing style. Trinidad missing with the right hand, but might have done some damage after landing that short left.
For the first time, Felix Trinidad has been able to bob and weave underneath a shot.
And from where Barnes is working, he's going to have a hard enough time seeing the target, much less hitting it.
Yeah. He looks like somebody on the beach looking for coins. His eyes almost straight down on the canvas much of the time.
Trinidad missed one right hand, landed one. Barnes landed a wild left hook. Breathe in. Breathe in. Just be careful. Just take it easy. We're going to the third round. Now, I want you to listen to me. Move that jab. When you move that right hand, he's trying to move his left. When you move your right, he's moving his left. When he comes in, hit him in his body. Just hit that body.
Weave, hook right hand, and back downstairs. Because don't give him some side moves left, okay? Just because they're cutting off. You're doing okay. Missing a lot of punches. Okay? Okay. And stay close, stay close. Okay? Just concentrate, relax, man.
Because that mask is chilled, his corner people say it helps to revive him very quickly.
Yeah, they also believe it brings down his heart rate by cooling the body, giving him more stamina over the long course of the fight. Barnes threw only 30 punches in round number 2. As he comes out for the third round, he's standing a little bit straighter up and in a better position to try to throw, but that might make more openings for Trinidad. Wild right hand missed by Barnes, and Trinidad was able to land a couple of those punches in return. Short left hook inside to the body by Trinidad.
Trinidad's corner has been telling him to throw to the body, and he's the only one being active in the body. You would think that Barnes, wanting to slow him down, would have landed more shots to the body by now, but he hasn't.
Yeah, particularly if you think a guy has had trouble making weight and might be a little dehydrated, that's all the more reason to go to the body early and try to take his legs away.
You would think so, but if you can see from the camera, Trinidad's body looks awful dry. When the fighter's having a rough time making the weight, he'll be wet. You'll see the sides be a little more puffy. The sides aren't that puffy, so he hasn't had that much of a hard time getting that body, the weight down.
Left hook was partially blocked there. Trinidad is getting some opportunities here in round 3 to set his feet and throw those power punches. Talk about Trinidad trying to go to Barnes's body, George. Larry's so much smaller. 5-inch height advantage for Trinidad. How hard is it to get down to the level you've got to get to throw those body punches?
A good right hand by Barnes, by the way, but at the same time, Trinidad is able to stoop and bend his knees and get the same height every now and then. That's how he's able to do it, which is very courageous for a tall fighter. As you saw then, he actually weaves that left jab.
Hard left hook. Best punch of this round by Trinidad. Barnes has been in against some guys who can crack, notably Glenwood Brown, back pretty close to the time when Glenwood was good, and Barnes weathered that storm and won the fight by decision. And in the dressing room, awaiting his turn in the ring, Fernell Whitaker.
We got 20 minutes around there.
Acknowledged king of the welterweight division, generally regarded as one of the 2 best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. Some would still choose. Felix Trinidad connecting at 57%. According to Punchstat numbers so far, that's the same percentage at which he connected against a strong fighter named Oba Carr, en route to a knockout of Carr.
But you know, he's like a race car that's usually in 5th gear or a higher gear, who is doing more backing up, more in reverse than he's probably used to, and so he's not really settled down to land his best power shots very often. There you see him trying to stand his ground a little bit more instead of just moving.
Well, what you try to do as a boxer, you get that tight circle. You want to move, but at the same time, you don't want to get from in the middle of that ring. Trinidad is doing an excellent job this round. He's moving, but in a circular fashion. And trying to get the song going with his jab. You tap, 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 tap. That's why you train to music, so you can get a rhythm to what you're doing.
As Barnes settles down and doesn't lunge in quite so much, he becomes a more consistent target for Trinidad and gives him a better chance to get the rhythm going with the jab. And here it comes.
He's got a rhythm and a little rhythm going right now. Trinidad has. That's what Barnes shouldn't allow him to do.
Well, Barnes is going to have to go back to lunging wildly. The more unorthodox Barnes can be, the better shot he'll have at throwing Trinidad.
What a game kid he is, Larry Barnes. An overachiever against one of the most talented fighters in the ring.
And what about the precision of Trinidad's finishing effort, George? Is he doing the right thing?
He's been told to really respect this guy. He's in with the #1 contender, so you heard him. Start back from the bottom and go back up again. Go to the body. If you get too wild, this guy's still strong. He's been a #1 contender, Barnes has, for a long time.
Very patient, clinical effort by Felix Trinidad, and he is racking up the damage against Larry Barnes.
And a body shot put him down.
3, 4, 5, 6.
That was some body shot.
7, 8. No, Larry, no, Larry. No, Larry.
As advertised, that was some finish, took his time, waited for the opportunity, and did a terrific job of closing the deal.
And you see there why Felix Trinidad is being compared as a two-fisted puncher to some of the greatest fighters who have ever fought. Well, George, he didn't look like a 22-year-old as he carried out that execution.
I thought for certain he would go wild and start lunging in for that finish once he heard him the first time. I was shocked to see him be so patient. Sometimes that's what you need, your dad in your corner sometimes. Someone you really respect to teach you properly. Take your time. Only a father can do that properly. Sometimes trainers are better at it, but a father is the best.
He showed patience, confidence, precision, and technique, all in the same package.
Not like a 22-year-older at all.
So Felix Trinidad makes the most of his HBO debut, and let's take a look back at the first big punch that hurt Barnes early in the round. That short left hook had been a weapon all the way through.
Well, it all became about because he was able to slip that left jab. Now he's taking his time, sticks his head back, not to get wild on the corner, jab, back to the body a little bit, uppercuts, but watch what you're doing. Moves him to better position. Even when he's wobbling, he doesn't get wild. Gets left foot right back, set again, double right hand, left hook. Watch what you're doing most of anything. Get back. You don't want to be caught by a lucky shot.
And here comes the end, and watch for the sensational body shot right there.
That did it. And when you get knocked down truly with a body shot after receiving those kind of hit shots, it's seldom that you get up.
Well, it took 3+ rounds for Larry Barns to settle down and adopt the posture of a conventional fighter. But once he did, he was too easy a target for Felix Trinidad.
Trinidad has an excellent left jab. And that jab starts hitting you an occasional hook in there. Hardly any way to protect yourself.
Well, let's go up to Michael Buffer now for the official particulars on this knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Benji Estevez calls a halt to the bout, stopping at the count of 8. The official time, 2 minutes, 54 seconds of round number 4. The winner, and still the undefeated IBF welterweight champion of the world, Felix Trinidad.
Saludos a mi gente de Cupey, los quiero.